Now that we've reached this stage and you've got a draft plan, what did you find was the most interesting thing about Kilcullen, or the most interesting things?
One of the most important things about Kilcullen is the energy and enthusiasm of the community, which is really vibrant, and there's a lot of active interest in the town, and that isn't to be taken for granted, because a lot of times we have to work to really generate that interest and stimulate that interest, whereas here we have a huge amount of people that really want to see the town improve. So I think that's very, very important, and that has driven this whole process going forward. And today the event is about testing the outcome of those discussions to make sure that we're still on the right track.
In doing the draft, after all your considerations and getting to this far, what are the key parts of Kilcullen that are important?
Well, we've got four key themes that have come through: place, future, linkage and people. And under those there are a series of objectives that are really important. Around place, it's about the fact that we have this wonderful heritage, but we need to do a better job of looking after it and celebrating it. Linkages is a really common topic for discussion. There's a lot of concern around traffic, about lorries, but also about how can we get people walking and cycling more in the town. The future is all about sustainability. It's how can we make our impact upon this place less harmful. So it's about thinking about how we build, how we move around the town. And then people, it's about animating the streets and spaces, making them more people friendly, inviting more people into the town. So there's a really rounded strategy emerging on the back of this, with practical ideas that will come to deliver those.
Now, it's busy here today. There are a lot of people coming around, and what are you hoping you'll get from these?
Well, first and foremost, we want people's ideas. We want their energy, the knowledge of the town. We've always said from the word go that we aren't the experts about Kilcullen, it's the people that live here. But it's also we're wanting to check that what is emerging through the draft statement resonates with people, that there aren't gaps that are missing inadvertently, or we aren't missing a trick. There are perhaps ideas that need to be fitted in that. So this is about fine-tuning the design statement before then the documents are published.
And do you have a timescale then from this point on as to when the plan might be completed?
Yes, well, we're certainly on track to complete this in the autumn. So this is the final part of the jigsaw in terms of the public engagement, and after this we'll then be writing it up into the documentation. And Kildare County Council are very interested to see what comes out of this process, because they're starting to gear up for next year for the local area plan. So this is going to be a very valuable document for them as well.
This is not a legal document, but will it be important in informing any future developments?
Yes, absolutely. It's not a legal document, and in a way that gives it more flexibility as well, because when you're dealing with a statutory legal plan, it's very tightly controlled and there's only certain things that it can look at, whereas here we're looking at the quality of Kilcullen as a place. So this document will be really valuable to informing future policy, but then also there's a lot of funding opportunities out there, and this will be a real important resource to informing those funding applications and to bringing projects onto the ground in Kilcullen.
To give Kilcullen people themselves a view of their community, is it important in that way?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is, because you can perhaps take it for granted that everyone has perhaps common opinions about a place, but to document that, to capture it. Also, I think it's healthy to capture some of the concerns that people have around things like traffic and lorries passing through the town. So I think it becomes a very valuable resource. But what I would say is that it can't just become a very static, rigid thing. It's not a blueprint. This is a framework around which we can develop, and it can evolve over the coming years, and I think that's very important as well.
So it's actually a living document?
I think that's exactly what it is, yeah, a living document.